Welcome back, football fans. Big Al here on this Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, and welcome into the Week 9 college football television schedule and all the announcers from every single game being televised this week. Now, Week 9 of the season is kicking off in mere moments, so we better jump on into this right now. The first game that will be getting underway is New Mexico State at Louisiana Tech. That's just in a few minutes here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network with Carter Blackburn and Dante Whitner. A half hour after that at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific on ESPNU is Liberty at Western Kentucky with Mike Corey and Renee Eagle Gilla. Then you got two more games tomorrow night. First on CBS Sports Network at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific is Jacksonville State at Florida International with Jordan Kent and Robert Turbin. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on ESPN2 is UTEP at Sam Houston. Clay Matvick and Aaron Murray. Then you got four games on Thursday night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on CBS Sports Network with Long Island at Central Connecticut. Paul Datino and Kevin Gilbride. And then you have three more games at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific. ESPN will televise Syracuse at Virginia Tech with Matt Berry, Roddy Jones, and Harry Lyles Jr. On ESPN2, you've got Georgia State at Georgia Southern with Courtney Lyle and Hudson Mason. And on ESPNU, South Carolina State at North Carolina Central with Tiffany Green and Jay Walker. And then two more games will go on Friday. The first is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on ESPNU. And that's Brown at Penn. Little Ivy League action here with Eric Freedy and Jack Ford. And then on ESPN2 at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific is Florida Atlantic at Charlotte. Anish Sharaf, Andre Ware, and Paul Carcaterra. All right, this brings us now to Saturday, and we'll start with the early afternoon portion of the schedule. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games kicking off at 12 noon Eastern at 9 a.m. Pacific. On ABC, it's number four Florida State at Wake Forest with Bob Wischusen and Robert Griffin III. Then you've got Big Ten action on CBS. Number 10 Penn State with Tom McCarthy. Saturday, it's number 6 Oklahoma at Kansas. Jason Benetti and Brock Heward. On ESPN, you've got South Carolina at Texas A&M, Mark Jones, Louis Riddick, and Quint Kessenich. On ESPN2, it's Houston at Kansas State with Lowell Galindo and Kirk Morrison. On FS1, West Virginia at UCF, Eric Collins and Devin Gardner. On ESPNU, you've got Tulsa at SMU, John Schifrin and Rocky Boyman. On BTN, it's Maryland at Northwestern, and there is no broadcast team announced for this game. On the ACC network, Connecticut at Boston College, Chris Cotter and Mark Herzlich. And on CBS Sports Network at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Massachusetts at Army, Dave Ryan and Adam Brenneman. Streaming on ESPN Plus at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific is Western Michigan at Eastern Michigan with Michael Reggie and Marcus Ray. On the CW at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, Clemson at NC State, Tom Wormy and James Bates. And streaming on ESPN Plus at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific, Memphis at North Texas, James Westling and LaDarren McClain. Now to the late afternoon portion of the Saturday schedule. And you've got a host of games at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 games kicking off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. On ABC, it's BYU at number 7, Texas, with Dave Pasch, Dusty Dvorak, and Tom Luginbill. On the Home Depot SEC on CBS, it's number 1, Georgia versus Florida in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party being played in Jacksonville with Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. On Fox, it's number 8, Oregon, and number 13, Utah. Huge ranked battle in the Pac-12 with Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. On NBC, it's Pittsburgh at number 14, Notre Dame, Jack Collinsworth and Jason Garrett. On ESPN, it's number 20, Duke at number 18, Louisville, Sean McDonough and Greg McElroy. On FS1, Purdue at Nebraska, Jeff Levering and Mark Helfrich. On the SEC Network, it's Mississippi State at Auburn, Dave Neal and Derek Mason. On BTN, it's Michigan State at Minnesota. No broadcast team has been announced for this game. On the ACC Network, it's Virginia at Miami, George Sedano and Orlando Franklin. On CBS Sports Network, you've got Miami of Ohio at Ohio with Jason Knapp and Malik Zaire. And then you have 3 games streaming on ESPN Plus at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. The first is Iowa State at Baylor with Mark Neely and Barrett Brooks. Then you've got Eastern Carolina at UTSA, which is the University of Texas at San Antonio, with Ted Emmerich and Doc Holliday. And then Southern Miss at Appalachian State has no broadcast team announced for this game. At 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on ESPN2, you've got number 22 Tulane at Rice with Drew Carter and Brock Osweiler. On ESPNU, got Prairie View A&M at Florida A&M with Tiffany Green and Jay Walker. On the Pac-12 Network, number 24 USC at California. There is no broadcast team announced for this game. And then there are 2 games on ESPN Plus at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, which also have no broadcast teams announced. You've got Arkansas State at ULM, that's the University of Louisiana Monroe, and Louisiana Lafayette, they just call them Louisiana nowadays, at South Alabama. Again, there are no broadcast teams announced for those 2 games. At 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific on FS2, Wyoming at Boise State, Eric Collins and Devin Gardner. At 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on NFL Network, Marshall at Coastal Carolina, Jason Ross Jr. and Teoka Jackson. And that brings us to the evening portion of the schedule. You've got 4 games at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and then you've got 3 more at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. First the 7 o'clock games. On ESPN, it's number 21 Tennessee at Kentucky with Mike Monaco and Jesse Palmer. On FS1, number 5 Washington at Stanford with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. On CBS Sports Network, you've got number 19 Air Force at Colorado State with Rich Waltz and Aaron Taylor. And streaming on ESPN Plus, it's Troy at Texas State, and there is no broadcast team announced for this game. Then you have the 3 games at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC's Saturday Night Football. Colorado at number 23 UCLA. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Then on Big Ten Saturday night on NBC, it's number 3 Ohio State at Wisconsin with Noah Eagle and Todd Blackledge. And on the SEC network, it's Vanderbilt at number 12 Ole Miss with Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kubelic. Then you have 4 games at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. On ESPN2, it's Cincinnati at Oklahoma State with Roy Philpott and Roddy Jones. On ESPNU, it's Old Dominion at number 25 James Madison, Taylor Zarzar, and Dustin Fox. On the Pac-12 network, Washington State at Arizona State, Roxy Bernstein and Lincoln Kennedy. And then on the ACC network, it's number 17 North Carolina at Georgia Tech, Wes Durham, and Tim Hasselbeck. And now we're at the late night portion of the schedule. 3 games are at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. On ESPN's Pac-12 After Dark, it's number 11 Oregon State at Arizona with Brian Custer and Rod Gilmore. On FS1, UNLV visits Fresno State with Alex Faust and Petros Papadakis. And then on CBS Sports Network, it's New Mexico at Nevada, John Sadak and Taylor McCartway. Final game of the night is at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, 8:59 p.m. Pacific on Hawaii pay-per-view and Team One Sports. And at San Jose State at Hawaii, and there is no broadcast team announced for this game. And that is your Week 9 television schedule. Your Week 9 college football television schedule. Let me correct myself. And all the broadcast teams announced for each game. I will return tomorrow with the Week 7 edition of the week that was. And let me tell you right now that my picks were not good this week because there were a lot of surprises on the Week 7 schedule in the NFL. I'll run you through all the statistical numbers from all 13 games from this past week. That's coming up tomorrow. In the meantime, like, comment, and to my channel, ring the bell, and get notified every time I go live. Bill signing off. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.